welcome to Nina's Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. My channel, it's all about crochet, a little bit about knitting, and a lot about yarn. Mostly, it's about my journey in this fantastic yarning community. Today, it's all about Tunisian crochet. So on Tuesdays, I do a little thing called Tunisian Tuesday. And we are going to learn some basic stitches. Today we're learning how to do this really pretty reverse stitch. It's a great stitch. It has a lot of texture. Front and back both look really nice. So this is a version of the Tunisian simple stitch, only you're going to be working at it from the behind, reversing it. So the beauty of the reverse stitch is, again, no multiples. So whatever number of chains you want to chain, go ahead and start your chain. If you are doing the single crochet foundation row, I've had a few questions about that. It doesn't matter which side, front or back for that foundation row. That foundation row really isn't part of the stitch. That's just a strengthening so that your project doesn't curl as much. I've had a lot of people commenting and questioning about the curling. Loosen your tension would be a really good thing to try. Going up another hook size or half a hook size would help. But guys, Tunisian curls. There's just no two ways around it. It curls. You're just going to have to block it out once you're finished, and it'll straighten itself out. But tension and hook size are the two biggest things that will help alleviate your curl, along with the foundation of a single crochet row. Now, if you don't want to do the single crochet foundation row, that's great. Don't worry about it. You can do just regular Tunisian foundation row, which is what we're going to do right here. I'm using some Nako Mona Lisa yarn, which is a number 4 weight yarn. I am using my Knitter's Pride 7mm US 10.75. It's the Knitter's Pride Dreams. I am on a hook, so you might hear it slapping on the table. And go ahead and get your starting chain. Any number, whatever you want to do is fine. I'm going to start with 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then if you're going to do just the traditional foundation row, I always flip mine over and get the back bumps of our chains. And we're just going to second chain from the hook. We're going to get in that back bump, and we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And we're going to do that all the way down. Your goal here is to have the same number of loops as chains. So for me, it's going to be 10. I'm going to have 10 loops on my hook. And because I started with 10 chains. Come on now. I did that one a little too tight. There we go. That's the last one. Should have 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And then we're going to do our traditional return pass, which is you're going to chain, come on now. You're going to chain 1, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 all the way down until you have just one hook or one loop left on your hook. I keep saying it wrong. Okay, that's just the traditional foundation row. So we've got that. Now, I want to show you. In our Tunisian journey, we've learned the anatomy of a stitch, right? So we have our front loop right here and our back loop back here. We're going to be working in the back loop, but we're going to be working in it from the back side. And I'm going to show you an easy way to get it started. And then once we've got it started and we've got a really good segment of stitches, I'm going to show you an even easier way that'll be able to see it. But for this, because I need you to be able to see what we're doing, I'm going to show you the way I was taught, and then I'm going to show you a shortcut. So again, we never work into that first stitch because that's already on our hook. So what we're going to do, you're going to make sure that your yarn is always behind your hook, and you're going to bring your hook into that space between the two stitches from the back to the front, and then you're going to split the stitch and catch that back loop. Turn your work towards you so that you can see that the back loop is on your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. That's the reverse stitch. Again, bring your hook into the space, back to front, split that stitch, roll it over so that you can see that you've got that back loop, that back leg, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Back to front, split that stitch, roll your work so that you can see you've got that back leg, yarn over, and pull up a loop. See, you're going to keep rolling your work a little bit so that you can see that your hook is in the right place. We're going to go back to front, split the stitch, roll it over so that you can see. There you go. Back to front, split the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Back to front, roll it over, pull up a loop. And then we just do the traditional edge stitch here. So roll your work towards you, make sure you get both of those loops, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And then traditional return pass, which is yarn over, pull through 1, then yarn over and pull through 2, all the way down until you get to the end with 1 loop left on your hook. And see how you have this like ridge here from the stitches that got pushed forward? That's the Tunisian reverse stitch. Let's do that one more time. We have our first stitch right here. So we're going to, making sure that our yarn is behind our hook, we're going to insert our hook in that space, back to front. Then we're going to split that stitch, and we're going to catch this back leg, and you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Back to front, split the stitch, turn your work towards you so you can see, yarn over, pull up a loop. Back to front, split that stitch. Oops, see, I didn't have my yarn in the right place. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Split the front to back in the space, split the stitch, roll it over, make sure you've got that last leg, yarn over and pull up a loop. Into the space, split the stitch, make sure you've got that hook, that last back leg, yarn over, pull up a loop. See how I'm moving my work forwards and backwards to see what I'm doing. Then we're going to get into the edge stitch. And there you go. You should still have 10 loops on your hook. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way down. That's the Tunisian reverse stitch. Now, once you get going on it and you can see it, when you turn it over, you can see these back legs right here, right? So once you're comfortable with being able to make sure that you've caught that right, you making sure your yarn is behind your hook. And that first stitch is always hard to see, and sometimes I miss it. You can just simple stitch into that back loop with your working on the back side of your work, pulling your work towards you. You can see it can go much faster because you can see that back leg when you pull your work towards you. And now flip it back forward and do your traditional edge stitch. And your regular return pass. See, and you get the same look. So there's two different ways to do it. The first way I showed you when we were putting your hook in the space, that's just to get the rhythm, to make sure you're keeping your yarn behind your hook. But to do it this way, where you roll your work towards you, make sure your yarn is, behind your hook. That first one is always hard because it's kind of leaning here. There it is right there. And we're just going to do like a Tunisian simple stitch. There you go. And there's the next one right there. And there's that one. That one. You're just working on the back side of the work. Now you've got your edge stitch, so you want to turn it forward again. Turn it so you can see that you're catching both sides. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You got your 10 or how many ever you're doing. And you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. It's that simple. And that's the Tunisian reverse stitch. It makes a really, really pretty fabric. I think it'd be great for washcloths or a baby blanket. There's the reverse side. It's just as pretty, I think. In the comments, tell me what you think you would use. It would make a great cardigan, a really great baby blanket, I think. So let's do the bind off in pattern. So what you're going to do is just like I showed you before with the bind off in pattern. You're going to, and this first one is always a little bit tricky to find. It's right there. If you can't find it that way, do it the way I showed you at the beginning, where you bring make sure your yarn is behind your hook, separate that out, go back to front, then split that stitch. And I moved my yarn in the wrong position. Look at that. See, this first one's always so fiddly for me. Okay, there we go. Back to front, split that stitch. Then yarn over and pull up a loop. Or you can just go all the way down like I did on the last one, where you just got your back loops back there. And you're just gonna simple stitch it all the way down, making sure that your yarn is behind your hook. Oops, I was doing the bind off, wasn't I? Well, we'll do one more row. One more row because I'm already through it. And then we've got this. And we're going to just go right on. Okay, this time I promise we're going to do the bind off. I get so single-minded sometimes. Okay. Okay, the bind off. You're going to just reverse stitch, slip stitch, reverse stitch, slip stitch, reverse stitch, slip stitch. So instead of just leaving the hooks on the loops on your hook, you're just going to slip stitch it off. So you always have just one loop on your hook. And then you've got your traditional edge stitch. Oops, wait. There we go. There you go. And it's bound off in pattern. And doesn't that make a great little square, a great little edge? It's a really fun stitch. Like I said, that first stitch can be a little fiddly because it that back leg wants to hide a little bit, but you can figure it out. You can just spread your work apart, look for that back leg, and you'll get it. So that is the Tunisian reverse stitch. And isn't that pretty on both sides? So leave me a comment. What would you use this for? If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Leave me a comment or email. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And until I see you tomorrow, be kind to yourself, give yourself some grace, but above all, be kind to everyone. Have a great day.